The James Show Podcast.
Stick with me. We're going to have fun for the rest of the show here. Not that the first half of the show wasn't fun, but if you missed it, go check out the podcast. Coming up in about 30 minutes, I'm going to be giving away some tickets. 2 tickets to see Seether and Daughtry. They'll be at the Pavilion at Toyota Music Factory November 11th. If you don't want to wait, get tickets at livenation.com. But I'm giving away some on Name That Artist coming up in 2 segments from now. But right now, we have another exciting episode. What the heck did Jasmine Crockett say this time?
Jasmine Crockett, queen of the liberal tea.
Peach blonde, bad built butch body, Governor Hot Wheels, and he is a hot ass mess, honey.
Queen of the liberal tea.
Thank you very much. Today's episode of What Did Jasmine Crockett Say This Time spans 2 shows. She was on The View, and she was on Katie Couric's podcast. Now, do you realize what's going on here? Jasmine Crockett, I'm sitting in her district right now. She is my front runner. Not that I prefer. It's just if I had to predict, if I had to put $20 on who I think is going to be on the Democrat ticket in 2028, Jasmine Crockett's on it. It's hers to lose. I don't know if she'll be the presidential candidate or the vice presidential candidate, but she is going to be on the ticket. Now, I want you to try and set our pre-existing bias aside and just recognize now what she says we think is just ridiculous, silly, sometimes abhorrent. But to the other side, to Team Blue, they love this stuff. This is what they dream about. This is what they cheer on. And if you want to see just the latest evidence how I think her performance and her media invites, she's just knocking them out of the park. Before I even play you Jasmine, let me show you how Whoopi introduced Jasmine Crockett on The View yesterday. And then I'm going to play you like the last 10 seconds or so when she said to kind of say goodbye. So the intro and outro for Jasmine Crockett on The View yesterday. Look at how insanely positive, glowing, dare I say biased, the coverage is. This lady's cruising.
From her sharp questions during House committee hearings to her choice words. For Republicans, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is being hailed as a one to watch in the Democratic Party. She's so much more than that. She's so much more than that. And we are so glad that she is here to answer our questions today. Please welcome back to this table, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Does anybody... I know you don't watch The View every day, but millions of people do watch The View, and don't dismiss it. The View is the most watched daytime talk show on network TV right now. So while you and I don't hold Sonny Hostin and Whoopi Goldberg up as intellectual betters, a lot of people do. And when they see their favorite people talk this positive about Jasmine Crockett, where God, I love her so much, I can't even get through the intro without laughing. She just, I love her so much. Here's the outro. Just slobbering devotion here. This is how much the media loves her.
Like, if we, the people, say we are the donor class,
that's right,
then we can make anything happen with our $5 and $10.
He won twice.
Great.
Never forget that.
And this is why she is so great. This is why. This is why. So, let's pay attention. Our thanks to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
All right, so they love it. The audience loves it. The media loves her. There's a reason why she's being invited on all these shows, more so than anyone else, more so than an AOC, more so than an Ilhan Omar, a Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer. Who is getting more media attention than her? And she's doing good in these settings. Don't judge by what you think is rational. Judge by the applause that you're getting from the studio audience. Judge by the fact that Whoopi and the rest of the crew are just falling all over themselves to kiss her feet. Judge her just by being invited on these shows. They love her. Now, what did she say that they were just, at the end of it, they were just in love with? Well, she said, if you're a MAGA, you're sick. You have a mental health issue if you support MAGA.
I mean, it is sick. It is really sick. And anybody that supports it is also sick. And so, we've got a mental health crisis in this country because everyone, no matter how you affiliate yourself, should be against Trump, period.
So she said you're sick. Or if you support MAGA, you're sick. I know about 20 or so % of y'all are lefties, and that's fine. You escaped this criticism of being sick. But yeah, see, when Team Red, generally speaking, not everybody, but when Team Red is asked to diagnose what's going on with Team Blue, there may be some mental health issues that are part of the discussion, but for the most part, I don't think you're demented people. I don't think you're bad. I don't think you're evil. I think you're probably well-intended. You probably want what's good for this country. You just need to stop believing what the people on TV say. Maybe your college professors weren't right. Maybe capitalism is better than socialism. Maybe men can't have babies, and you just stop listening to the people that tell you they can. But most of what I see on Team Blue is a bunch of people who are misled. Good people who want what's best. They've just signed on, prescribed to the wrong worldview, the wrong economic system, the wrong, the political philosophy, as it were. But let me give you more context to this MAGA is sick here. A little bit before and a little bit after kind of spells it out.
I want to talk to you about some of the things that are going on.
Oh, by the way, that was The View. This is going to the Katie Couric Show.
I want to talk to you about some of the things that are going on in this country, Jasmine, before you go. What do you think about what has happened in L.A. and calling up the National Guard, the Marines, and basically saying this could happen in every state in our country?
I truly have no words. You grow up as a little girl, and you grow up as a little girl in this country. Let me clarify that. And you think, man, this is a great place to live, and it's only going to get better. And then you become the adult version of me, and you have a president that is openly just a criminal, like not just the convictions he's got, consistently breaking laws, ignoring court orders, violating the Constitution, and doing it all because he really is seeking this retribution that he campaigned on. He said, I will be your retribution. And so this idea that we don't care how many people get hurt, we don't care how we prostitute our service members, thinking that you have your own special little army that's for you. I mean, it is sick. It is really sick. And anybody that supports it is also sick. And so, we've got a mental health crisis in this country because everyone, no matter how you affiliate yourself, should be against Trump, period. This is not partisan for me. Like, I would give anything to have, it's sad to say, George Bush. Give me any regular Republican nowadays and I would be happy. But right now we have someone who does not care, and he is being enabled by the fact that there are, people that follow him and they pump him up, as well as the people that are surrounding him. If you remember yesterday's show, we were having the discussion that Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, was making the good case that Trump derangement syndrome, the opposite, is a mental illness. Someone's close to the truth. But, I think if you are so wrapped up in politics, like if you're scared or crying in the street or somehow you have negative impacts on your life, believing things that aren't true, then it is a mental illness. It might be a low-grade disorder, but which side does that fit better? 800-288-9227. This is Chris in Dallas. You're on WBAP. Go.
Hey, James. Good. Thanks for taking my call. I'm of the camp that I want her to run for vice president or president because that message didn't sell the first time. It didn't sell with Kamala, and it won't sell with her when she puts it on steroids. I mean, what I call racial determinism. She thinks all roads lead to racism. And so, you know what? Let her come out with that, and the Republicans will win hands down. That's my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's how you see it, but you don't think like they do. And I don't think she's a true believer in all this stuff. I think she is a smart girl that's playing dumb. And she knows what gets her voters riled up. She knows what gets them to the polls. She knows how to raise money. She's a hell of a fundraiser behind the scenes over here. I've seen some of the tabs on it. But also, the determining factor on whether or not she's a good candidate to the eyes of the low information voter is just how good does she do in the media. And if you paid attention to that intro and outro she had on The View, this is the kind of reception she's getting everywhere. And so the Democrat voting base is going to love her. I'm not sure she's going to be the easiest candidate to defeat. I think Gavin Newsom would be an easier candidate to defeat. In fact, I'm hard pressed to find a Democrat candidate that would be harder to beat than Jasmine Crockett in 2028. Because who are they going to stick her with? Like an AOC? That's kind of crazy town. But my concern would be, what if they stuck her with like a Mark Cuban? That kind of covers both sides of the Team Blue spectrum. The sort of sensible businessman, billionaire, and of course he's straight and white and male. And then you have the other side of the spectrum with her, even though she's not a true believer, she's sort of the avatar for the more extreme fringe, racially based grievance side of the Team Blue spectrum. I don't dismiss her for a bit.
Yeah, I disagree with you, but you know what? I'll let me think about it. You've got a good opinion. I just think that if they can't sell this to the overall, to mom and pop kettle out in the regular guy out in the street's not going to buy this. They didn't buy it with Kamala.
Well, and that's the best argument that you have is how bad it just fell to Kamala Harris. She's way better than Kamala Harris. She doesn't have that annoying laugh. She's actually pretty, which shouldn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter to you and me, Chris, but to a lot of voters, they're more likely to jump on board if it's someone who looks like Jasmine Crockett versus Kamala Harris isn't pretty. And I'm not saying that to be mean or to just take a cheap shot at my political opponents, but it does matter, and it will be a huge asset. But listen, because I hear so much of her attacks on not just MAGA, but really Trump and conservatism as a whole, they're almost all ad hominem attacks. I feel like since she's not a true believer, we may come back in 10, 20 years from now, and she'll be one of the ones that has switched sides, like an Elon Musk, like a Joe Rogan, like a Tulsi Gabbard, like a Robert Kennedy, like a Donald Trump. Remember that? I think she is quite capable of being won over, which is kind of hopeful in my point of view, Chris.
Well, you know what? Let me think about your point there, but I will tell you that I truly believe that one of the things that killed Kamala was because she had that same thing, that same all roads lead to some kind of racism, some kind of homophobia, and I just don't think the American public bought it. And it's not just guys like me. I live in Dallas. I live in a red state. I'm surrounded by red state ideas. So I live in a little bit of an echo chamber, but I really believe, I don't think they're going to buy this.
All right, good stuff, Chris. We're going to find out the hard way in about, 2.5 years or so. All right, thank you, Chris. And I wanted to finish up one other point that she was talking about here. She said that she doesn't feel safe as a Democrat these days.
Well, over the weekend, we actually saw a tragic and brazen act of political violence in this country. A Minnesota Democratic representative and her husband and their dog were assassinated. Another lawmaker and his wife were gravely wounded, and the suspect reportedly had a long hit list. So I want to ask you, do you feel safe as an elected official in this political climate?
No, not at all. I mean, here's the deal. I do this job, and the fact that my safety is a part of doing this job is really bad in and of itself. But while we spend millions upon millions just so that this guy can go and golf, or while they spent $45 million for his little birthday parade, I'm just saying, can we reprioritize some of those dollars?
So she's never really scoring a whole lot of ideological points in these arguments. Did you hear that? That's basically ad hominem. Hey, View, after President Trump got shot in the ear, did you bring any Republicans on and ask them, do you feel safe? After he had another assassination attempt, did you bring Republicans on and say, do you feel safe? After you had pro-Palestinian protesters run through a crowd on Bourbon Street in New Orleans earlier this year, the other one that shot the two Jewish people in the back and murdered them earlier this year, the one who made the homemade flamethrower and Molotov cocktails and burned 8 people. What did you bring anyone on and say, are you worried about your safety? No, just in this one instance, and the exception that proves the rule of right-wing violence. Yeah, you got some concerns about safety. Interesting. That seems like it's almost a selective concern about safety based on your pre-existing political bias, but I'm not a mind reader. Coming up next, we're playing Name That Artist on The James Show. If you want to try and win tickets to see Seether and Daughtry, call in right now. 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. Name That Artist next on The James Show. News Talk 820, 93.3 FM WBAP.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Dallas, Texas.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Is foot, knee, hip, or back pain making your workday unbearable? Maybe you need high-quality support in your shoes. That's where the Good Feet store can help you, like Deidre and Tom.
The pain would shoot up my heels. I would tiptoe out of bed because my heels hurt so badly. When I went to the Good Feet store, they allowed me to try on the arch supports. I walked around and I started sobbing because I had no pain.
I work 8-10 hours a day. Probably 60% of the time I'm on my feet. I had pain in my feet. Like the second or third day after I left the store, no pain. My feet never hurt. My legs, I have no pain. Unbelievable.
Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Find the closest Good Feet store to you at goodfeet.com.
The first house I bought, I had it for a few years, and when I sold it, with the price increase that it had, plus the equity I paid down, I got back almost half of what I had made in payments. That's what I walked away with. This is how you build wealth: owning a home, getting out of the rent race, building equity. When you're ready to buy or sell a house, this is the only guy you need to think of. Bob Lavelle, 972-392-9595. Bob Lavelle has the classic website, blessyourheart.com, or call 972-392-9595. Jim Brewer, making fun of people with Trump derangement syndrome, been a big topic this week.
What is going on? Right? It's past if you're divided politically. Even, you have to admit, even if you're like, I don't care as long as it's not you know who. That was like a demonic, like the devil came out and just whoever, we're gonna make people hate Donald Trump, hate. Get him. I hate Donald Trump. He's a racist. He's a deadhead. White supremacist. He's an insurrectionist. They lynch people. Because I saw the news channels. I saw them saying, he's racist, he's sexist. You would just wake up to pee in the middle of the night. He hates Mexicans, and he says they're rapists, and he hates black people, and What? They had, remember the Women's March? We're gonna march! Oh, they knew what a woman was then.
And we're going to end this show by anti-request. This is people begging me not to play this song again. Hank Johnson, the guy who says Guam might capsize, Guam could tip over, he put out a song just for you, Hey Trump.
I'm compelled with a new guitar and with some thoughts about that old song, Hey Joe, to give some commentary on where we are now. Hey, Trump, where you going with that gun in your hand?
I'm doing this just to torture you. You realize that, right?
on with that gun in your hand.
All right, the G string and the B string are a little flat, sir. If you could just take care of that. No?
I'm going down the street and shoot down democracy.
Is that what we're doing?
You know I want to be a king someday.
All right, enough torture. That's going to do it for this week's editions of The James Show. Do me a favor. I need you to be like little disciples, little apostles for The James Show. Find someone you think would like this show. Tell them about it. If you see my stuff online, if you see it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, whatever, share that out. That means more to me than you will ever know. Even if you don't have a big following, share. Help me grow this thing. I got kids. I need to keep this job.
The James Show Podcast.